Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Testing 1. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 10th, 2023 Board of Education meeting for Arlington Heights School District 25. Really appreciate your patience as the boards finish up our discussion in closed session. So I call the regular meeting to order, and the time now is 7:17 p.m. Lana, would you please call the roll?
Present.
Neerman,
Here.
Scapalato,
Here.
Jogi,
Here.
Michael,
Here.
Basso.
Here.
Okay, please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Before we go into our regular agenda, we need to appoint a secretary pro tem. And so could I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I move that Kevin serve in that role.
Can I have a second, please? Thank you, Liz. And should I call the roll? Or all in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. Thank you, Kevin, for serving in that role this evening. First up for our agenda is a recognition. We want to extend congratulations to our library staff from Dryden School, and I believe Dr. Bine is going to introduce them and the special award they've received.
Thank you. What an honor. Tonight we welcome a representative from the Association of the Illinois School Library Educators, Dr. Erin Wyatt. She will be presenting the board with the association's Exemplary School Library Award, which recognizes school libraries throughout the state of Illinois that best exemplify the Illinois school library standards. In order to be considered for this award, a school library must submit an application noting how each standard is being met by a full-time licensed librarian with support from their school district. Also joining us tonight are Dryden Principal Akemi Sessler, our Assistant Principal, Dr. Beth Glass, and our Dryden School Library Media Specialist, Beth Kovacic, who was recently honored at the annual Conference Awards banquet. We'd like to start tonight by inviting Dr. Wyatt up to our microphone.
Thank you for having me. On behalf of the Association of Illinois School Library Educators, I'm thrilled to be here to present this award. We'd like to thank the Arlington Heights School Board for inviting ISLE to join your meeting tonight and to present the ISLE Exemplary School Library Award to the Dryden Elementary School Library. The ISLE Exemplary School Library Award was established in 2018 to recognize school libraries throughout the state of Illinois which exemplify the Illinois school library standards set forth in Linking for Learning. This award is presented to any school in a public, private, or charter school that has demonstrated an exemplary implementation of the standards. In order to be eligible for the award, a school library must have a full-time licensed school librarian and a dedicated school library budget supported by the district. Additionally, the school library program must submit evidence of exemplary status from the nominee and a narrative from a district or building administrator. Through this award, ISLE recognizes the school library as an integral component of each school's learning community, in which everyone is a teacher, learner, producer, and contributor. We're very proud each library program which has received this award. To date, 11 school libraries representing elementary, middle, and high schools in Illinois have received the award. This year there are 2 recipients. Both of these school library programs deserve the award because their programs embody ISLE's values of creating an environment which encourages active participatory learning, promotes reading, and fosters collaboration. Dryden Elementary School Library Program represented these values through evidence supplied by LMC Director Beth Kovacic of the library's collaboration with academic teams and special area teachers to implement lessons, develop a mission, vision, and goals for the library, and communicating them to the wider community. The assistant principal, Dr. Beth Glass, provided written statements of support for the library's partially flexible schedule and multiple uses of the library space, as well as the collaboration between administration, classroom teachers, and the library to create lessons and opportunities for student growth. Through the librarians' and administrators' efforts, the Dryden Elementary School Library truly embodies the values ISLE wants to advocate for and recognize as exemplary in a school library program. As an exemplary school library program, we believe it stands as a model for other districts and school library programs. We hope other school entities will seek to internalize and represent these same values of collaboration in order to empower students with the essential skills to become lifelong learners, users, and creators of ideas and information. Therefore, it is with great pleasure we recognize the Dryden Elementary School Library as an exemplary library program and thank LMC Director Beth Kovacic and Assistant Principal Dr. Beth Glass for submitting the application materials. ISLE would like to present this award to the Arlington Heights School District and the Arlington Heights community. Wow, look at that. Ms. Kovacic or Dr. Glass, is there anything you wanted to share?
I just want to say thank you to the district for staffing all of our libraries with full-time librarians and assistants. We couldn't do the work that we do without that support. And the collaboration with the teachers, I brought a bunch of them with me tonight. And, you know, their support is evident as they're here. But also, you know, I couldn't do the things that I do with the kids without the teachers' support and the collaboration and the time that we have to work together. And I inherited an amazing reading community at Dryden. And it's the kids that really put the effort in, and they just blow me away with what they do. So thank you all for your support of reading, of kids, of school libraries. I appreciate it so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you to our guests that joined us this evening. Congratulations again to Dryden. And we you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but also you probably have some celebrating to do as well. So if you'd like to step out, you are welcome to.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt, for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you, Dryden Library Fan Club.
All right, we'll move on with board communications, and the first thing on our list is board member updates. So any updates from my colleagues this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to Ed Red with Kevin Michael and Stacy Malik reporting.
Thank you. Last week on Friday, October 6th, Ed Red held its annual kickoff luncheon in Wheeling. I was unfortunately unable to attend due to a work conflict, so I don't have anything to report on that specific event. However, make sure I have my date right. On Wednesday, October 18th, I am registered to attend a Zoom session where the topics will be House Bill 2822 and House Bill 3991, both of which focus around new arrival students, which we've discussed as a board before, so students whose families have recently entered the United States from another country, and the legislation that's been proposed to bring more funding into school districts to better support those students. So I look forward to having more information to share on that topic at our next meeting.
And Dr. Jogi, I believe you attended the luncheon. Do you have something you would like to share?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I attended on behalf of the board. It was a really well-attended luncheon. There were over, I'd say, about 200, 250 board members and administrators who attended this EdRed's legislative kickoff meeting on October 6th, like Kevin said. And there was a featured speaker. It was a professional development opportunity for all of us. And there was a featured speaker from the Learning Technology Center. His name's Eric Santos, and he shared his expertise in using artificial intelligence in education. So it truly was eye-opening. There was some open AI kind of exercises that we did that kind of opened up our eyes to the limitations, but also how to use it as a tool and how educators have been using it as a tool. So super interesting and a great opportunity to network with other school board members in the area. So thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Kevin and Dr. Jogi, and we'll continue with IESB. And Dr. Jogi, do you have a report for us tonight?
We're getting ready. We're so thankful to Lana O'Brien, our secretary at the district, who has been working out all the logistics for us as a board to attend this professional development opportunity. This year, as you know, not only are we attending as a board to learn, we are also presenting as a school board. We're going to be presenting on the effectiveness of how District 25 has been living our strategic plan and how we put this plan together with such amazing community input, and now how the administrator and how the district has been living this plan. So we have been preparing as a board to present at IASB, which takes a lot of work. So I want to thank my colleagues for all the input and all the work they've been putting into making sure that this is a successful presentation where we're not only learning from our colleagues around the state of Illinois, all the school board members, but also contributing to the conversation at IASB. And this year, there's also going to be an equity symposium on Thursday that I'll be attending. Dr. Bynum will be attending. We've been invited to present as well. I've been invited to present, and then we're presenting. We'll be attending on Friday. There's many other sessions, and this on Saturday. So it's a full-on event. So thank you to my colleagues for preparing, taking away time from families to be at this professional development opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Jogi. All right, next up is NSSEO and Liz Neerman reporting.
Thank you, Craig. So each meeting I go to for NSSEO, I learn a little bit more about NSSEO. And a quick fact that I learned at the last meeting is that NSSEO will provide professional development to District 25 staff since we are a member district. Great opportunity they offer us. Also, NSSEO is seeking community partnerships for Kirk students. So if you own or frequent business, be willing to host a Kirk student, be in touch with Kirk. in, can you hear us? Okay, okay. They students in, no, that's okay. Oh, there we go. They give students, Kirk students, work opportunities for credit. So that's something. And then also the NSSEO Foundation is currently selling Lou Milner's pizza coupons. You can order by Wednesday, October 18th by visiting nsseo.revtrack.net. Board members, administrators, if you'd like to order, my name in the comment box and I will deliver your pizza coupons for you. So think about that. It's getting cold. We're all going to need pizza and, you know, a little friendly visit from me. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. All right, next in our agenda tonight is the community input portion of our meeting. If you wish to address any item on tonight's agenda, please complete one of the forms provided on the table and hand the card to Lana O'Brien for the Board of Education. Please note on the card if you wish to speak at our first community input just now or our second one later in the meeting. Seems like we have no community input for this meeting. So we'll go right into our communications from districts. Okay. First of all, we'll start with Worthington. Is Megan? Report from Megan. No report tonight. Okay. All right. So from the PTA, we'll go to ABC. And you know, have a report for them.
We do. Thank you. So first and foremost, we are still collecting, Allison, we are still collecting grants. So we have one more week on our grant submissions. So I look forward to getting all of them in. Usually that last week is a mad rush and we get a whole bunch in. In addition, remember the membership drive, we are still promoting that. And any school membership that reaches 25% gets an additional $2,500. And it's a grant that can be used for the entire school. And in addition to that, if you become a member, you could win a ride to school by our very own Arlington Heights Police Department. And all members are automatically entered into that drawing. In addition to that, check a date here really quick. We have our community open house on October 30th. That will be held at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library in the second floor in the Hendrickson's room. So if anyone would like to join and you haven't, I will offer that there is nothing more exciting than to be able to raise money to simply give it back to the teachers so that they can use it in the classroom with all of our incredible kids to be able to further their education with new innovative ideas. And it's getting close, so this is my time. I get very excited about this time. I love when we get to the grants. It's my favorite time of the year for the whole foundation.
Thank you, Gina. Next, we welcome the report from ATA and Allison Berg. Welcome, Allison.
Good evening, everyone. I always enjoy putting the spotlight on one of our schools. Tonight, the spotlight is on Patton Elementary. First graders at Patton are using their observation skills to investigate the patterns of the sun in the daytime sky. Does the sun appear in the same place throughout the day? After making observations, the students drew and labeled pictures to show what they observed. There they are. In art class, second grade artists learn to have, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, the art of plein air, making art outside. So there's a picture of our students, and there's some of their art. There's another one. Go one more. There we go, drawing outside. Third grade's music class, Patton's music classes are excited to start working on their performance music this year and cannot wait to perform for students, staff, parents, and families. Third grade was thrilled to learn their performance theme this year is Disney, 100 Years of Wonder. I wonder who their music teacher is. After some arm twisting, Mr. Whitaker gave in and let the students start to work on one of their performance pieces. Third graders are having a blast bucket drumming to the Baroque hoedown and the theme song to Disneyland and Walt Disney World's Main Street Electrical Parade. The 5th grade band, the Patton Band, is off to a great start. This year they are 45 members strong, and the group is already playing favorites like Hot Cross Buns and Mary Had a Little Lamb with Gusto. There they are. The Patton 5th grade musical. Patton 5th graders are gearing up for this year's musical production. This Wednesday, the musical will be revealed to the students and families through a series of clues throughout the day. Students are super excited for the big reveal and cannot wait to get started learning this year's songs and digging into the script. So stay tuned. Greg, you might have an idea of what that will be tomorrow. You'll be the first to know probably, right? You have a Patton student? All right. All right, kindergarten. This is like my favorite. The kindergarten students have a front row seat at Patton's elementary construction site. To help embrace all that comes with construction, the students wanted to share some art by drawing their own construction workers. The motto is Patton in Progress, and the kindergartners are eager to make their own progress this year alongside the construction. If you would just go one more slide, this is more construction news from across the district. These are our Greenbrier EC students who are also taking advantage of teachable moments. The preschoolers in Mrs. Walsh's class will now be studying our creative curriculum, Building Study. How could we pass up the opportunity to learn how big buildings are made? They were fascinated. And there is no picture, but they are also doing construction at Windsor School right outside the 4th grade doors. My students opted to stand there to watch the trucks rather than play on the playground because they were also fascinated by the digging up of the sidewalks outside of our classrooms. As a matter of fact, several of our classes have to keep their shades closed because otherwise all we're doing is looking at the giant machinery outside. And those are 4th graders. Moving on, South. Students have been working hard in Mrs. Barbieri's 7th grade ELA classroom at South. This year, students have been focusing on the stages of plot. In order to prepare her students for their assessment on this topic, the class worked in group to play literary Uno. It was exciting to watch the students interact with one another and yell Uno when they were close to winning. All performed well on their assessments as well, and also to give their brains a short break after map testing, they drummed to the beat of an old classic song on their desks. Finally, I have one more thank you for Dr. Bine. Beth, who is a teacher both at Dryden and Windsor, says that she is grateful for the positivity everyone in the district radiates, starting with Dr. Bine. A few years ago, when I was a guest teacher in the district, I remember the governor declared the shutdown in March of 2020. I felt confused, scared, and alone. However, a ray of hope came my way. I remember receiving the updates from Dr. Bine about the district's evolving COVID plans, and I felt consoled. Her positive communication and frequent updates from the district made me feel like we could get through this and things would be better for the community, the kids, and our families. She has been an amazing leader, and I wish she could stay on as superintendent. Thank you, Dr. Bine. No one will ever forget the wonderful things you have brought to the community. So thank you for allowing me to share tonight about Patton, and I will see you guys next time with another building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Allison. All right, we're moving on to the consent agenda. This is an action item, so could I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve those items on the consent agenda as follows. A, personnel report. B, treasurer's report. C, invoices. D, public hearing on the budget meeting minutes of September 26th, 2023. E, regular and closed session meeting minutes of September 26th, 2023.
Thank you, Kevin. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Gina. Lana, if you could please call the vote.
Neerman,
Yes.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Faso,
Yes.
Olenichek.
Yes.
Thank you, Lana. All right, no reports from Student Learning and Student Services this evening, so we're going to Business and Finance. And we're going to be covering the Benefits Renewal 2024, which is an action item. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the resolution for the continuation of various insurance coverages for the 2024 calendar year.
Thank you, Kevin. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Rich. Stacy, if you could present the benefits renewal information.
Thank you. This is an annual item. Our insurance year is a calendar year, so we are moving into our timing for our open enrollment for our staff. And as the board has negotiated a 6% cap with our association, That limits the board's costs in terms of annual increases for health insurance. And then the insurance committee, made up of members of the association, an SEIU representative, and a couple district staff members, look at our renewal in terms of the increase in premiums and then make recommendations based on accepting the increase in premiums or looking at making changes to benefits to bring those premiums down. Based on our renewal this year with a 5.5% increase on our regular PPO and HMO plan, the committee is not recommending any changes for this upcoming year. The board will take a 6% increase over what they're paying currently, and the association, or the staff, all staff will see no change in the premium for single coverage and a $38 a month increase in the premium for family coverage. Additionally, we have our high deductible plan and our Blue Advantage HMO plan, both of which have no cost for single coverage for staff, and a 5.58% increase in those family premiums as well. In terms of our some of our other insurance plans and our vision insurance, we are under a multi-year contract with a 2-year rate guarantee, so there's no change for this upcoming year. Our dental insurance, the renewal is flat, so there will be no change in that premium. The board pays for single coverage, and then staff pay for any differential between single coverage and family coverage. And then the life insurance program as well, there's a 2-year rate guarantee, so that is no change for this upcoming school year. Calendar year.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. Any questions from the board for Stacy?
Stacy, just a question. How many, if you know right now off the top of your head, how many people take advantage of the single medical coverage, regardless of plan, of the 3 plans, roughly?
Probably about 500. Oh, sorry, total coverage. Single only, at least 50%.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so no further questions. So Lana, if you could please call the vote.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Vaso,
Yes.
Oliniechek,
Yes.
Neerman.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Lana. And now we're going to move on to personnel and planning. The next item is full-day kindergarten and physical education personnel plan for 2024 to 2025, and is an action item. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the full-day kindergarten and physical education personnel plan as presented.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Liz. Brian and Stacy, if you could share the information about the personnel plan with the board.
Yes, thank you. Just making sure you have the chart that was provided as well. So thank you for allowing me this evening to talk to you guys about the personnel plan for addressing full-day kindergarten and meeting the needs of our physical education program, adding the 3rd block to meet the state mandate that students receive 3 blocks of physical education per week. These staffing projections are based on student enrollment projections, mandated state programming, and the decision of the district to begin full-day kindergarten starting next school year. So in a presentation that was given back in December of 21, we projected a need for 20.5 additional kindergarten teachers, 1.2 special area teachers, PE and music, and 1.3 food service staff, and 2.0 custodial staff. So today I am presenting an updated projection. As you'll notice in the chart, we anticipate a minimum of 12.5 additional kindergarten teachers and a maximum of the original 20.5. The purpose of making the request today is to begin the search for the minimum number of kindergarten teachers expected to run the full-day kindergarten program of 12.5 in addition to what we have now. The market for hiring classroom teachers for next school year is currently fresh, and finding 12.5 quality classroom teachers will be challenging if we wait until when I normally present February, March. If we approve this evening, prior to posting any positions externally, I would like to allow any current teachers in District 25 the opportunity to apply for these positions prior to considering any outside candidates. Any advantage to begin the hiring for next school year will allow us time to begin bringing any new staff into the culture of our district sooner. Neighboring school districts will also be looking for new kindergarten teachers as they are also starting full-day kindergarten. So I anticipate this winter is going to be filled with competition to find new classroom teachers in the area of kindergarten. In addition to the kindergarten teachers, the projections made in December of '21 remain accurate, and I am asking you to consider approving the additional staff, including 1.2 special area teachers for PE and music, 1.3 for food service, and 2.0 for custodial staff. Lastly, I am presenting to you a request to approve an additional 4.0 PE teachers to be in compliance with the state mandate requiring PE to be offered to our students 3 times per week. In the past, including this school year, we have had a waiver from the state approved by the Regional Office of Education allowing us to continue offering PE 2 times per week. The waiver is no longer supported by the state, and we are now required to come into compliance with the state mandate. The overall financial impact is expected to range from just over $1.3 million to as high as $1.8 million if we were to see the highest enrollment projected from the CASARDA studies that were completed in May of '22. At this time, I would recommend that the Board of Education approve the personnel plan for 24-25 school year as presented, addressing the additional full-day kindergarten program and meeting the PE compliance mandate. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Kay, and thanks for walking us through that proposal. Any questions from my colleagues?
Mr. President?
Yes, Rich.
Brian, just 2 questions. You made a statement about allowing current teachers the ability to apply for those routes. So would that be like TAs or someone who's teaching, I'm just throwing this out, 1st grade or 2nd grade, an opportunity, they really wanted to teach kindergarten?
Great question. So it would start with those that are currently certified internally. So if they are teaching 1st grade, they could show interest in our anticipated kindergarten position. I'd like to give them the first opportunity to show interest in kindergarten, which then would open a 1st grade position. So I anticipate 12.5 need for kindergarten, but some of them might be filled by our already hired staff, which would then open other positions that we would later post.
And then the second question, can you just, about the 4 PE, how you all come up with that number across the 7 schools?
Yeah, so right now, the current number of sections that we allow a PE teacher to hit their maximum capacity is between 19, 20, and 21 sections. That's hitting each class 2 times. Now we're adding each class an additional hit, so we've now lowered that max to 15 sections, which we're just adding another half hour to every single class, so we're just adding more time. Now we need more teachers, and that's at every elementary building.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Kay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So since no other questions, Alana, if you could please call the vote.
Jogi,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Faso,
Yes.
Olenichek,
Yes.
Neerman,
Yes.
Scapalato.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kay, and thank you, Lana. And so we're moving on to superintendent report. And the first part of that is the Freedom of Information Act report. So Dr. Vine, if you could review any FOIA items with us.
Thank you. The board's only received one Freedom of Information Act request since our last meeting, and a response was provided on October 4th.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Vine. We'll go on to the second reading of policies from Press 112, and this is an action item. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the policies as presented.
And a second, please.
Second.
All right, thank you. These policies were presented at our first reading at our last meeting. So, Dr. Vine, do you have any additional information that we need to receive tonight?
No, there's been no changes since the discussion at the last meeting.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, Rich.
I do have an offer change under one of the policies. I was not here last time. If we could bear reference to policy 7305, student athletes, concussion, and head injuries. Seven colon 305, yeah, yep. What I want to bring to the board's attention, just clarifying or maybe adding to paragraph 1.a, where the board must appoint or approve members of a concussion oversight team for the district. What's not stipulated in this section here, and even I'm on the policy committee, should have identified it earlier, time frame. Every year, every 2 years, lifetime, is it a lifetime appointment? So just seeking that we should come back to this. If we're appointing or approving someone, there needs to be a time box on this. I'd legitimately offer maybe, Laura, in your suggestion, maybe every 2 years.
So that's up to the board if someone wants to add, like Rich is proposing,
Yeah.
that you add a timeline every 2 years, so.
So Dr. Bynum, maybe you could fill us in. So without that language, how does this get implemented?
Yeah, without that language, whoever is appointed stays on that committee.
Okay, so,
Like, stays on indefinitely.
yeah, right. And so, Rich, you're suggesting that it would be a term of 2 years?
Or something that we must approve every 2 years, right? Because it says the board must appoint or approve members of a concussion oversight team for the district. So if we don't appoint or approve someone, A, no one ever gets there, or B, they stay on forever.
If the
Well,
board's interested, we could also pull this. I could
Yeah.
talk to the attorneys as well as press and see what's best practice and bring it back to you. So you also could approve policies except for this one, or you could change the wording on this one or approve it as is.
And just to, so, because this happens over months, this was one we heard about in policy committee. We did first reading, and I know you weren't here, Rich, and then we're again here. I want to make sure we're abiding by what we agreed as our processes. So Dr. Bynum's suggestion is maybe then we can all consider your suggestion and hear what information you might provide us. But my question to the board then is, do we bring this back to the policy committee or for the full board?
My recommendation at this point is it could come back to this group.
Okay.
With that information, and then if that information is substantial and the board want to send it back to the policy committee, they could.
Very good. Okay. So with that in mind, sorry, go ahead. Yes, that's where I was getting to. So we need a modified motion, or can we offer a new motion, or?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the policies as presented, except policy 7305.
Thank you, Kevin. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Liz. I think, Lana, we're ready for a vote.
Michael?
Yes.
Faso?
Yes.
Oliniechek?
Yep.
Neerman?
Yes.
Scapalato?
Yes.
Jogi?
Yes.
All right. Now we'll go on to the renewal of our intergovernmental agreement with the Park District for our CAP program, and this is also an action item. So can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the joint recreational intergovernmental agreement by and between the Board of Education of Arlington Heights, School District Number 25, and the Arlington Heights Park District as presented.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Rich. Dr. Bynum, if you could provide us information on the agreement.
Thank you. This first agreement that is about our Children at Play CAP program that the Park District facilitates here for District 25 families. We've had an agreement in place for probably a couple decades or more, and we all just kind of wanted to revisit them. The changes here are very minor. They're just updates really to reflect what's going on. The Park District's attorney has reviewed them. The board's attorney has reviewed them. So very minor changes, just really kind of bringing it up to some of the current language and some of the current locations.
Thank you, Dr. Vine. Any questions or comments on this agreement? Okay. Lana, if you could please call the vote.
Michael,
Yes.
Basso,
Yes.
Oliniechek,
Yes.
Neerman,
Yes.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Lana. All right, we're going to another action item. This is an update to the intergovernmental agreement with the Park District, but related to our shared use of facilities. Dr. Bine, if you could share the information on this one. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. And could I have a motion before we get to that, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the intergovernmental agreement by and between the Arlington Heights Park District and the Board of Education of Arlington Heights School District Number 25 for shared use of facilities as presented.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Gina. Dr. Vine?
Thank you. Again, an agreement that we've had with the Park District for as long as anyone can remember, where they use some of our field areas for some of their programs, and we use some of their field area for some of our PE or sports programs. The only change that I'll note here that is interesting or maybe a little different is the Park District had an interest in including language about right of first refusal to purchase. So if we were to sell, for example, Greens Park at the end of Olive School, there's a Park District playground structure on our property. And if we were to say we're going to sell that property, well, what happens to their playground structure? So they wanted a right of first refusal to purchase. And we felt that then we wanted that same opportunity. And so our attorneys worked together, and that language is in there equally for both organizations, that each of us, the Park District and the school district, have the right of first refusal to purchase something should we be putting it up for sale. Again, the board's attorney has worked through this on your behalf, and other than that additional language, it really was just about updating some of the language, like Dryden tennis courts are now the Dryden pickleball courts, and some of the updated locations that we use.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bine. Any questions on this agreement? All right, seeing none. Lana, if you could please call the vote.
Faso,
Yes.
Oliniechek,
Yes.
Neerman,
Yes.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi,
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Thank you, Lana. All right, and now we're going on to E, our next action item regarding the intergovernmental agreement with the Park District, but this is a new agreement regarding the Dryden Playground property. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education approve the intergovernmental lease agreement as presented.
And a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Jogi. Dr. Bine, if you could share the information on this agreement.
Yeah, so as Greg said, this is a new intergovernmental lease agreement. This does come with a cost to the school district of $1 per year. So in order to lease property that the Park District owns. So at Dryden School, and you have a map at the end of your attachment, at Dryden School, the behind Dryden, the pickleball and tennis courts and the playground structure that Dryden sits on is actually Park District land, owned land. Years ago, the District 25 and the Park District entered into an agreement to build that playground structure together. We have some maintenance agreements on it. We shared, I think, incurred most of the cost of that. And we have an interest in a new playground in that exact same space. A playground that comes up to the level of playgrounds we've built across all of our other schools in the district. One that has the handicap accessible ground to it, as well as handicap accessibility to the structure. So this is a new agreement where we would lease that property, that part of the property that only the playground structure is on, for $1 a year. We would be able to build a new playground, a new surface, a new playground on that property. And in this agreement, it would be our responsibility to maintain that property moving forward. And so we looked at many different ways of how to best go about this, and this really is in the best interest of both organizations, that the Park District continues to own that piece of property, but that we lease it from them and have all rights to change what's on that property, to construct a new playground. We would be responsible for maintaining it, as we are our other playground structures at our elementary schools. And I don't remember if we put it in here or we just talked about it. We did agree with the Park District that we will contact an organization that will come and help take down the playground equipment, donate it to an area in Africa or another nation that can't afford playgrounds. And this company would come, this volunteer company would come, they would take it, they would ship it, no cost to the district, they would rebuild it. We would get a packet of information showing it being rebuilt, showing it being used. The Park District does that with all of their structures, and we agreed that would be a wonderful thing for us to participate in. So by the board approving this agreement tonight, in fact, all three of these agreements now would go to the Park District at their October 24th meeting. They would vote on them. Then they become finalized. We would begin to be able to work on a new playground in the hopes of opening it in August of '24 along with the Dryden construction.
Thank you, Dr. Bine. Any questions?
I just have a comment to add to this, Mr. Vice President.
Go ahead.
It was really, when Dr. Bine was at this meeting with the Park District, I attended along with my colleague, Brian Cerniglia, and it was great to meet with the Park District Executive Director and the board president and another commissioner. And we really appreciate the collaborative relationship we have with the Arlington Heights Park District in many things that we do together for the benefit of the students and the children and the community at large. So it was a really productive meeting. It was great to hear their perspective, and I'm glad that we were collaboratively able to work out a plan that benefited both intergovernmental agencies. So that was great, and thanks, Dr. Bine, for including us in that meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Jogi. Lana, you please call the...
Mr. Vice President?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Dr. Bine, just a quick question. With the change in the agreement whereby District 25 now maintains the playground, does that have any impact on the district's liability or any other insurance concerns?
I would say no more than we already have with all of our other playgrounds. So what the Park District did before really mostly was replace the wood chips for us in that playground. And if the equipment, I think we had a combined responsibility for the actual structure, but they did the maintenance of those wood chips. We'll no longer have those wood chips. And so our liability would fall under our insurance policy that already covers our other 6 elementary structures.
Any other questions? All right. Lana, if you would please call the vote.
Olenichek?
Yes.
Neerman?
Yes.
Scapalato?
Yes.
Jogi?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Faso?
Yes.
Okay. And our next item is also an action item to approve the resolution authorizing commencement of social media litigation. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Kevin.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the resolution authorizing commencement of social media litigation as presented.
Thank you. And a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Liz. Dr. Biden, if you could provide the information.
Sorry, thought I had it. There we go. I apologize. District 25 administrative staff is interested in joining the class action lawsuit of school districts across the country against our social media companies. Participating in this lawsuit has no financial cost to District 25. The premise of this lawsuit is that social media has negatively impacted our youth mental health, and there has been an impact on our school district as we've had to address these impacts through staffing, time, education, etc. The lawsuit will seek both financial support to cover the costs of the mental health support we've added in our schools, our additional social workers, for example. And it will seek to change how social media markets to youth and the parameters that they put in place to protect our students. The board would need to vote to approve this resolution at this meeting in order to be a participant in this litigation.
Thank you, Dr. Bine. Questions or comments from the board?
You know, Mr. President.
Yep, go ahead,
So
Rich.
one of the things in this, it talks about, you know, that we can, you know, obviously if we're joining this, we've already either documented the impact or can provide evidence that this has impacted. And again, I'm not saying that kids don't use social media, things of that nature, but we have that we have the ability to show the direct line impact. And I question that because if I understand our parent policies and things of that nature, you know, kids aren't supposed to be using their phones in classrooms, on grounds, things of that nature. So there's policies already in place that limit or are telling folks or telling our parents, this is what we believe in and this is what we're doing. So I guess our policies not sufficient to protect ourselves or to at least provide guidance that we feel that we should join this, and two, that we do have documentation and the facts and everything else to point to, here it is, here's the impact, and this is what it's cost us, and all those types of things.
So yeah, great questions. And actually, yes, we do have data accessible that we can easily pull together on student discipline as well as student referrals that are categorized as beginning as social media. That social media issues began those conflicts and those referrals to the office, as well as categories for social workers seeing students outside of their case management of students with special needs, students that are referred for social work for maybe short-term or specific situations over time. And we do have those categories when, you know, and we can easily pull. Because something happened with social media, this group of students now needed additional social work time. Or again, we can track the amount of time and days spent by our administrators on working on situations that initiated or had a component of social media that either happened outside of school but brought it substantially into the school setting, disrupting the school day, or occurred on school property.
Any other questions or comments on this? Okay, seeing none. Lana, if you could please call the vote.
Neerman,
Yes.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Faso,
Yes.
Olenichek,
No.
All right, thank you, Lana. We are going to finish up, I believe, the superintendent's report here with the IASB 2023 resolutions. Heard from Dr. Jogi earlier that the III conference is fast approaching, And this is the time when we consider those resolutions. So Dr. Bine, if you could please review this year's resolutions from IASB and explain the process we're going to go through this year.
Yeah, each year, like you said, at the joint annual conference in November, there is an Illinois Association of School Boards Delegate Assembly. I'm not sure who the delegate is this year. Dr. Jogi, do you know who that is?
Yeah, I'm finalizing it, and I'm going to be speaking to my colleagues, and I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Because at the time during the delegate assembly, some of the board members are going to be presenting at the same time. So I have to finish the loop on that, and we'll get back to you.
Great, thank you. So at that delegate assembly, there's one representative from every school district who is present, and you're asked to vote on behalf of your school board, 2 resolutions that are being presented. So this year, there are only 5 resolutions. That's a big hooray. You may remember a few years ago, there was like 20, and it was very challenging for everybody. So what we're asking is that you come with your, let's see what they officially call it, my board's recommendation kind of voting sheet to the November 14th meeting. So I believe Lana has added that as an individual attachment onto board doc. She has, as well as it's in your packet as well. So we here in District 25 kind of tweak this voting page because the way it's actually presented from IASB can be, we feel, very confusing. So we're trying to simplify this, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to come with this sheet completed to the November meeting, and you either select yes, I do adopt if you agree with the resolution presented. So do adopt this resolution, or do not adopt this resolution if you do not agree with it. Now you will see we list what the committee recommends. So the committee, there's a resolution committee for the State Board Association, and they might say the committee's recommendation is do not adopt. That's just information for you to know what their committee is recommending. You're going to come on your own and say, I vote do adopt, or I vote do not adopt. Okay? So you're just going to vote on the resolution, not on what the committee says. That's just a piece of information for you to be aware of. So then what happens on November 14th is Dr. Jogi will facilitate any discussion. So if you have questions about those 5 resolutions, if you want to talk about any of them, if you want any clarification on them, we'll do that at the November 14th meeting. And then she'll gather each of your input on whether to adopt or not adopt resolution 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the majority decision will be the board's decision. We'll put it on a voting sheet that the delegate can take with them in the format that they will need so that they can vote on behalf of the District 25 board at that delegate assembly. Just so you know, when a resolution, for example, is adopted at the delegate assembly, that doesn't mean it's law or it's rule. It simply means the State Board Association is going to advocate for that to become law, or advocate for that to become rule with the state legislature. So they're basically trying to find out from all the school boards, what do you want us to advocate for in future lawmaking sessions? So that's the purpose of that meeting. So if you would, again, look through it on your own time. If you have questions, give me a call. I really feel these 5 are pretty straightforward this time. And then again, come on the November 14th meeting to say that, yes, I want to adopt or not adopt this resolution. Any questions?
Thank you for that, Dr. Bine. And I will add that IASB always offers, before the delegate assembly happens, they offer a webinar where they explain the different resolutions. So board members, look out for that in your email from IASB. And I'll also put a plug in for, and if any of you are interested, who are attending the III conference, who would like to be an IASB delegate. I've served as an IASB delegate. Rich has served as well. I would I am the ISB delegate this time too, but like I said, I'll be presenting with my colleagues during that time. So if anybody's interested, it's a really interesting meeting. It's a large, there's a delegate from each board across the state of Illinois. And it's really interesting where you see the diversity of perspectives from the whole state in this one room. It's very interesting. And they go through these and the voting happens. So it's a very interesting. So if any of you who are attending III would like to be our delegate, please get in touch with me and we'll give you more, I'll give you more information about that. So it's an exciting opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bond, Dr. Jogi. And so now we're going to move to our superintendent search update. And we did have the meeting, special session earlier this evening, but Dr. Jogi, I think you have an update for us.
Yes, thank you, Vice President. I would like to, we just had the latest information on the superintendent search was provided, like Greg said, at the special session that was open to the public just prior to this meeting. It was really informative. The report was super informative, so I encourage us to continue to dig deeper into the data that was provided. It's so many amazing celebrations, so many opportunities to look at. So it was great to get this perspective. The board is always really keen on community engagement, and we're so excited at the amount of input we got. So you can all, the community knows, and as the board know, everybody in our community in the district can always follow the superintendent search on our website, which is linked in the school board section or directly at sd25.org/superintendent SUPT search. And the presentation that was shared by the search consultants today will also be updated to that web link. Now, as a summary, the board is so grateful for the active and widespread community engagement during the superintendent search. The consultants engaged with community residents, with parents, students, certified and support personnel, business, non-for-profit leaders, and other community leaders, as well as the Board of Education individually with each of the members. Now, our genuine gratitude to our district team, Stacy Malik, Adam Harris, and Lana O'Brien, for their hard work coordinating district-wide communication efforts. They did such a great job that the search firm, in their wide experience of doing this across so many districts, they saw the most engagement in our district, and they're so even the numbers of participants and all this. So you'll see when you pull up and the video of the meeting that we just had. Sorry, if you go to the website and you'll see the information, you'll see the report would state that we hosted 21 focus groups with active participation from 200 individuals. There were staff focus groups that were held at all 9 of our schools and with district administrators as well. The survey was completed by 722 community members, and each board member, like I said, shared their input via one-on-one interviews as well. So the search firm was thrilled with this community response, and the board, again, truly appreciates the community input, and it continues to be the board's top priority right now to hire the next best superintendent for District 25. So huge kudos and thanks to our really engaged community members and everybody that's been involved in the superintendent search process. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, Greg, to present a summary of what the search firm had gone over with us.
All right, thank you, Dr. Jogi, for that update. We are now at the second community input section of our agenda. So if you wish to address any item on tonight's agenda, please complete one of the forms that are provided out on the table in the lobby and hand the form to Lana O'Brien. Lana, do we have any forms? Okay, seeing none, then we'll continue our future agenda items section of the meeting. Are there any new topics that have been previously discussed with Dr. Bine?
No, I'll just highlight for the board, we have a special meeting on October 24th. You'll be seeing an agenda for that soon. That's our combined meeting with the Arlington Heights Park District. It will be at the Arlington Heights Park District. It'll be a 1-hour opportunity for the two boards to share some information, and then they will have their regular meeting following that. We have our ruler update scheduled for November, as well as, I believe, our assessment update that we have every year is coming at that meeting as well. Still working on the other two items that are listed on there for future topics.
Mr. President, Lori,
Yes, Rich.
could we have Lana do us, or at least me, a big favor? I know over the next 3 months, we're going to have a lot of meetings. Just to, I'm not a Google Doc type person, just here's a list. These are the days that we need times. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, we can definitely put that together
Thank
for
you.
you and send it out to you soon.
All right, thank you for that suggestion. All right, well, thank you to my board colleagues and all our presenters for moving quickly through tonight's agenda. We are not going back into closed session, so can I have a motion to adjourn our regular meeting?
Mr. President.
Yes, Rich.
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Rich. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and Lana, will you call the roll?
Michael,
Yes.
Faso,
Yes.
Oliniechek,
Yes.
Bierman,
Yes.
Scapalato,
Yes.
Jogi.
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.